guys. Today we have an interesting guest, Preeti. She is a founder and SEO consultant and Packted. Hello, Preeti. Thank you for joining
Hello.
us.
Hello,
Hello.
Alexandra. How are you doing?
Fine, thank you. Thank you for joining us. And today we have an interesting topic, and we are going to discuss essential steps to do an audit for e-commerce project with using free tools, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's an interesting topic, especially for newbies or mid-level SEOs who uh, didn't have enough experience in e-commerce, because e-commerce niche is a little bit different from other sites. So today we want to share with you our knowledge how you can do it easily, quickly, and using only free tools, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's start.
Damn. uh, so I think I'll start. I have this whole thing broken down into some pieces. So I will start with the first thing, which is determining the goal of your audit. So the first thing that you may want to ask to yourself is why. Like, why are we doing all of this in first place? Why do we want to do the audit? So there could be multiple reasons why you want to do an audit. One of them could be like to deal with all the technical stuff like the indexing, crawling, that sort of thing. And the other can be improving the conversion rate of your website, improving traffic for your website, or to improve the content on your website, which is what we are doing today. And there could be other goals too, like you can literally have any goal in mind. But just know one thing is that the goal that you will make up for yourself will determine the kind of metrics that you will be tracking, the the things that you will be like filling out in the sheets that I will like share to you later. So this is the first part. The second part is to actually understand those metrics and picking up the tools, like from where you want to get this data from. So as I've said earlier, the metrics will depend on the goal. So because of this goal that we have for improving our content, we will at certain metrics like views and engagement rate and stuff like that. I'll show you later. And so for that, I will want to share the screen, I guess. So the first thing, this is the audit template that I will be like giving you, and like for everybody. So the first thing here is to add the URLs. These are the two things that we will like do later, but the first thing that we will start with is the URL of your your pages, your websites. So for this you may want to like check for something like, wait, yeah, for this you may want to get a sitemap extractor tool, where you can just put your sitemap URL, and then it will tell you all the URLs of your website, and you can just copy paste them here. I have found it very helpful, and maybe you can too. So this is the one thing. The next is the content length. Content length is not something, content length is very debatable in the whole SEO space. It is because that uh, we expect our content to be a certain length, that it should be like above 1500 words or something. But my goal with content length here is not to not in that sort of way, but it is to understand that how many words we have used to actually cover this topic. Okay, so it could be that after you have done all the analysis and went to SERPs and check all of the content and your user intent, it you might find that the content length that we have right now is very less, and it is not properly helping the user. So you may want to increase the length of your content, or if the content is like too much, it's like it's too long and user don't really want to read that, you may want to cut down on the length. So this is the reason why I have kept it here. So the next thing is that the page type, there in as you see in the drop down, there are a bunch of different pages. So it could be that you may want to like assess all the product and landing pages, But if we are just doing the blog post and you don't want to include any other page on your website, you can just delete this from here and it will like go away. The next thing is the funnel stage or the funnel type. You can do this in the form of top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, or bottom of the funnel, or you can do something like this, where there are like bunch of steps in the thing. This is from Ahrefs. So this is something you can do, or you can just do it in the form of top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, or you can add like awareness, consideration, decision sort of things. The idea behind this thing is that we want to understand how much content do we have for each of the funnel stages. So we want to make sure that we have content for basically each stage. We don't only want to make content that is only for top of the funnel. That would be not the ideal case.
I would like to ask you a question about this template. Looks pretty nice, but I'm wondering how I can extract the content lengths in one click.
I think you can use tools like I think Ahrefs also has this, uh, like it has content words here. And I think there are other I think SEO Pro extension is also the one which can tell you the content length. We may want to cover that later, because the priority depends on a bunch of things, so we will come back to it. And so the next is the business potential. This is a score from 0 to 3 that you will give to your content. And I think this yeah, this can really help you understand that. So this is again from Ahrefs. I'm not endorsing them, but yeah, do so. uh, the thing is that it is a great way to understand the business potential of a topic and of your page basically. The thing is that if there is a score of the score 0 basically means that there is no way that you could mention your product. So if I provide SEO consultancy, and if I talk about TikTok trends, or if I talk about I'm not sure how to buy the best chocolates in the market. These are kind of topics that doesn't really make sense to what I offer and what I do. There might be the topics that are high in volume and they are low in the difficulty. But these kind of things are not, these topics are not really related to me. Whereas if I talk about SEO audits, like what I'm doing right now, SEO audits is something that is directly related to what I offer. So that would get a score of 3. So 3
Mhm.
means here that our product is an irreplaceable solution to the problem. So if you have a service about backlinks, so you could talk about something that is highly related to backlinks. That would be a score of 3. So the idea is to assess your content on the score from 0 to 3. And we want to make sure that we have like high scores like 2 or 3. And if this also helps you understand that if you have scores uh, 0 and 1 for a lot of pieces of content, you might want to understand what to do with these content. Like, do we want to like keep them, do we want to remove them, or like what to do? That is something we will determine in the action. But yeah, this is something that is very helpful. Also, if you want to do product led content, I think this is very important. This could be a very important metric to measure. Okay, so the next thing are the SERPs. SERPs is something that you have to do manually, even if you are even if you have paid tools. You should do this manually, and you should go to the like pages and yeah, check for things. The idea behind this is that you go to your preferred search engine, whatever you would like to go to, and search for topics that are related to this URL basically. Okay, and then understand the page, what is going on there, what are the is there any featured snippet, what kind of other rich snippets are there any you know AI overviews, or any other sort of thing that really catches your eye. And also check what kind of questions people are asking, and the people also ask boxes, and also what kind of websites are ranking, what kind of uh, how much authority do they have in the whole space, and is this topic a very uh, YMYL, like your money or your life sort of topic?
Mhm.
Does it require a high level of EEAT? So these are sort of things that you want to look for in the SERPs. I really like doing this step basically, and it's because that you get to add a different dimension to your audit, and it tells you things that you might not have discovered otherwise. So it would look a little long, it would look like a paragraph or something, that you are going to the like results page and checking all the things and then adding it here. So this is something I would say that it is very helpful, and it you would get a lot of value from it.
Okay.
So yeah.
Like to ask you a question about this SERP. So sometimes we have some kind of niches where we see in the SERP a lot of Reddit, Quora, Wikipedia, or even Amazon or Walmart. Um, as for you, what do you think? Is it a signal of high competition, or is it a signal of low competition in the niche?
I think Reddit, Quora, or or other forums like these are popping up for every single query after those like updates and everything. These are on every single query, and I don't think it signals competition or something, but I think it signals that people are looking for real humans' opinions basically. They don't want to necessarily read uh, polished content there. They want to read the things that other people have to say basically. So if they I have this happened to me, one of the articles on my website is something, uh, when I published that piece, there was no Reddit core or anything on the SERPs. But after this helpful content that came around, there were like, yeah, Reddit core and everything. I so I tried to incorporate as much real human, angle to my content by adding like videos and everything else that I really felt like, and it is not polished. But if there is Wikipedia, then you might want to think about it, because it could be that the it could be that it is a kind of competitive term or topic. So yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so for this SERPs, I also would like to add that whenever you are searching for this thing, you should do that in incognito mode, because if you're doing this in your normal, like your browser thing, uh, the results can be influenced by your search history, your location, or your past, like, yeah, search history basically. So you want to do this in incognito, and if you have an international audience where you are targeting people from a certain country, then you might want to get something like a SERP location changer or a VPN, so that you can properly understand and basically visualize the location for what they are seeing, and see like, okay, what they are seeing and what kind of content they have, like on the intent and everything. So these are the two things that I want to add to this thing. And the next thing is, you also may want to track something like date published, or like when it was last modified. Again, this is I like to think of this as something that if you have a content that is less than 6 months old, then you should not really touch it. Okay, so you, if it is like less than 6 months old, you can just like leave it as it is, and then go by your day. you know and the if it is like, yeah, more than 6 months, then you can obviously do the whole audit on it and understand everything about it. And the other thing is that if it is very old, like more than a year old, or like 2 3 years old or something, then you, after doing all of the like SERPs and like things like what are, where are these, yeah, the purpose, intent and everything, if you see that the intent of the user has changed over these 3 4 years when it was published, and there are the information that you are providing in your article is not very correct enough, so you may want to like assign that you want to update this content, add any section to it, images, videos or anything else that supports, and that basically you will do a content refresh, if it is very old content. So that obviously depends on the intent and, yeah, what users want to see
I,
basically.
I have a question about the publication dates. It's quite interesting topic for me because, sometimes companies and websites cannot allow to provide a real persona because there is a content editing team
Mm-hmm.
which which wouldn't like to be presented on the website because they're using
Mm-hmm.
some kind of freelance writers, etc. What do you think? Is it okay if we can use a few options? The first option, that we do not provide any kind of authority persona that article is written by someone, but we can add, for example, that the article was written by our company as an entity, and that's all. And second question is, if we can provide that article was written by company but reviewed by some kind of expert. Yeah, and the last question, is it okay if, for example, on the front end, I do not provide the date, but I provide it in my structured data for my web page, for example? What do you think? Is it mistake? How to deal correctly with it?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I will start with the first question, which was about can you, like, can you just write that this content is like written by our company, and if
Mm-hmm.
you can't really show that this content is written by a freelancer or something,
Mm-hmm.
I would say that the thing is, why do you want to hide that thing, because like, just if there is a legit, a very genuine reason why you want to hide the name of the person, then you can obviously do so. But if there is not a very strong reason for doing that, then I would just recommend adding the name of the author, even if it is a freelance person or something. But if you cannot, just you can just add the company's name. But the thing is that if you add the person's name, it is, I think, more relatable, you know by thinking that, okay, if I go to your website and if I see that there is written that it is written by Alexandra, so then I would be like, okay, I can imagine that a real person like you have written this content, and
Mm-hmm.
it also establishes EEAT, like, as like people talk about. So, and if it is written, if you can't show that, you can just show that, yeah, it is written by our company, then it is also like a second best option, I would say, that yeah, it is at least written by something, somebody. And there are a bunch of like, there are a lot of websites that do like that. And yeah, for the second question, what was it?
About
uh,
structured data and reviewed by.
okay, so if I understand that correctly, like, you want to ask, like, if, like, you cannot include the date in the article itself, can you just include that in structured data, right?
Right.
Okay, yeah, you can do that. uh, the Yeah, in the structured data you can surely do that, but I would also want to understand why is that, why are you basically hiding the date from the user, the
Uh,
thing
I,
is.
It's kind of typical technical mistakes and different workflows between the design team, developing team, and SEO team. Because, for example, we as a SEO team, we know that last update, date publishing are quite important for us, and we can provide a task for development team. Just please add this schema to our HTML document while you are doing some kind of work on your design and front end. And sometimes, because some companies do not have enough time, do not have enough budget to hire a developer and edit this part on the front end. And in these cases, is it okay if we provide dates only in schema?
Yeah, I think so, because ultimately the goal is to tell search engines when we have published this date, and
Okay.
yeah, if it is a news content or something like that where date is very important, then it would make sense for you to actually show that date to users, because uh, for content other than news, I don't think that showing date to users is actually that important. Sometimes it is, but like, yeah, it depends on the kind of topic other than news, I guess. Uh, so I think it's fine as long as it also happens, like, as you have seen, even if you add like structured data, sometimes date can show in the SERPs. So it can show that, yeah, when it was written, based on, it will take that information from the structured data. So yeah, it is, I think it is fine for you to do that, as long as it is, yeah, like, it would be a huge task. So yeah, it's fine just to do that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. So moving forward, now we will talk about the metrics. Okay. So the the metrics will, for this purpose of this particular audit, I have the sources that I am picking are like the Google Search Console, Google Analytics, and Hrefs Webmaster Tools, because I think these three can give you most amount of data that you're looking for. So for the for metrics that are related to Google Analytics, I would actually recommend you making uh, a custom report that will show you all the metrics in one place. I can show you. Okay, so this is the report that I have made for myself. It's also named SEO audit, So when I was doing audit for my website, I just made a report that had all the pages and the views and the metrics that I wanted to track, basically. So you can do this, and then you can just export the data from here, and then you can basically add that data to your sheet. I have actually another page on it that will like showcase all the things that you have to do in order to get the data from your sheet to your this sheet, basically. So you can add like views, new users, returning users, and engagement rate is something that you can put all in one report and export that. Clicks is something that you will get from Google Search Console, so you can also export that data and add it to this sheet. And for the primary traffic source, I tried to like export this thing and add it here, but I think for now, I think you have to do it manually. Traffic source for each page. I think it would be important to see that sometimes it happens that I have created a page that is intended for ranking on Google, but a lot of traffic on that page is coming from, I don't know, YouTube or LinkedIn or something. So that is something that you can identify from here and maybe tweak in your strategy, that how you want to do this thing. The next are the meta tags, which is something you can get all in your Hrefs Webmaster Tools. Hrefs Webmaster Tools is basically free for websites. If you have the Google Search Console access to websites, then it will show you, like, yeah, you can just crawl your website and get a lot of data from it. So it will give you data like this, and then you can just click on these pages and then click on like the in links. These are all the like internal links and other things, like uh, you can just add more columns. Like you want to add, what do you want to add, like your canonical tags, or like something like your uh, hreflang, or your meta titles, like meta titles description and anything like that. You can just make a report and then export it from there and then add the data here. I have found it very helpful. So for the canonical tag, I actually have a story. When I was auditing one of my clients website, I got to know that because of their CMS there was some issues or something. All the canonical tags for all the pages were same. So if this is a blog page, the canonical for this page is home page, which is not very ideal. So this is something I got to know from doing the audit, and then we went and fixed the issue, obviously. But again, for description, I got to know that all of the pages have the same description, which is not ideal, and you should have unique description for each page. And also there are chances where there are duplicate or multiple h1s on a single page. So this is something that you can like just write it here, and if there are multiple h1s, you can just write all of them here and then analyze what to do with them. And
I have a question
mhm.
regarding title and H1. So
Okay.
I had a colleague and we had pretty hot discussion about title tags and H1. So
Mm-hmm.
he told me that title should be uh, uh, um, totally unique, and do not duplicate the H1. And my thought was that title and H1 should be as much similar as possible, not unique in 100%, but very close. And what do you think about it? And what do you think about where should we put our keyword? In the beginning, in the middle, or in the end? Because it's kind of classic fairy tales about and myth about title and H1. So maybe you can tell your opinion about it. What do you think?
So, yeah, as you said, like it is a very classic discussion point, I guess. I think somebody from Google also talked about this in the SEO office hours, if I'm not wrong. I don't really remember the response, but it was something that was discussed. And I personally think that, like, I have always kept the H1 and the meta title same most of the times on my website. And there are a lot of times when I want to just test the titles, like what kind of title would perform better on SERPs. That is when I have changed the titles. And yeah, I think it's not very necessary to match the h1 and the title, but most of the time I just do that because uh, I think it's hard for you to come up with the unique titles every single time. So I just keep it simple, and just keep a simple title and then also make it h1 and vice versa. So yeah. And for the keyword, I think the best thing would be to test on your website and see, like, yeah, what works best for you. Just you can take a handful of pages and put a keyword in the front or something for some days and see, like, okay, which one is performing better. I think for me, when I have tested it, I have found that the keyword in front is better. Like the
Mhm.
more yeah, the more front, like, yeah, the the earlier the keyword is in your title, that is much better, which is what I have tested with my website. So Yeah, for your website or maybe any other, I think it would be best to just test and see what works for you. For what I have seen, the title in the front is works much better. So yeah.
And I noticed that last years it was popular to add everywhere your domain name. And for now, I noticed that a lot of websites started to use less domain names in their meta title. What do you think about it? Should we use, especially for blog pages, for example, for e-commerce, it can be a reason if your brand is a high volume keyword already. But what to do for blog pages? Is it important to provide these domain names? Because in most of cases, the domain names are some kind of auto-generated by some kind of plugin. And should we do something with blog pages? Should we use domain names?
So I know this the auto generated thing because I use WordPress, and in rank math it
Mhm.
basically adds automatically to your meta titles. I have seen that. I think there was a SEO test by I don't remember the website name, but they're a popular SEO testing website, and they I think did a test on this thing, and I think they found that not having your brand name in title is much better. But
Mhm.
I used to add the my website's name in the title, but I don't think I do that anymore. Yeah, because I think it just takes space, it just takes space, and it most of the times it truncates in the SERPs.
Yeah, right,
so
right.
so yeah, I think if your brand is like super popular or something, then you might want to add the brand name. Otherwise, I don't see any, like, any good reason, I guess. So
Thank you.
okay, so we will, where were we? Okay, now we are on focus topic. So the focus topic is not something that is you take and you add 25 times on your content just because it's focus, your main keyword. The idea behind this, from my perspective, is that we want to summarize what this page is about in a very short sentence, phrase, or something. So this is basically the main idea behind the page. Okay, so what is this page about? That's it. It doesn't need to be something that you repeat in your content. I have seen, for the audits that I have done for me and my clients, there were a lot of times when this focus topic doesn't even occur one time in the content. It is basically a short version of what this page is about. The thing behind this is, the idea behind this thing is that when you're doing the audit for, let's say, your 100 pages, 100 blog posts, then you would understand that it can help you identify something like a keyword cannibalization issue. That if one or more pages are targeting the same topic or not, and if they are, then you can decide based on the audit that you will do what to do with it, whether to delete the page or to redirect or anything, like, yeah. So this is where I think this is very handy to have. And the next is the links, both the internal link and the backlinks. And for this too, I think Hrefs webmaster tools is good, because uh, you can get the backlink data because of the webmaster tools. And this is like, you can see all the backlink data here in the site explorer, and then the backlink report. And from the page explorer, like we have shown you this before, you can get all the number of in links. So the idea behind this thing is that you will want to check how many backlinks and how many internal links these pages have. If any page has, so one of the things that I like to think is that backlinks is something you cannot really control. unless you
Mhm.
are doing some sort of campaign or something, or like yeah, some sort of campaign or PR or something like that. For my website, I can just speak from my experience. For my website, I can't really control the backlinks, like how many backlinks I will get. So I don't really think about that. I think more about internal links, because internal linking is as important as backlinks in my opinion. I'm not sure about anybody else, but I think internal links are very important, and it can signify that yeah, this page has more importance because of how many internal links it has. Also, uh, content clusters are a good way to incorporate the whole internal linking, because I have done a content cluster recently for my client, and because of that, the internal linking has improved a lot. So this is something you might want to keep in mind, and you can just export that data and put it here and see what you want to do with them. You know, if the pages has very less internal links, you may want to increase the number of internal linkings pointing to this particular page. And the I will talk about these things in the next section, but for this section, it's page speed and the mobile friendliness and the notes. Page speed is something that I have noticed in Google search console, that if you increase the page speed for a specific template on your website, then it increases for the whole set of pages, and you don't have to increase the page speed for a particular page. So let's say uh, on your website, the blog post template, so basically all the blog post, the page speed on them is very less. You know, it is
Yeah.
loading very slowly. So if you improve the page speed on those, on that template, on that blog post template, then it would improve for all the pages, and then you would not have to do a lot of work. You know, you can just
Mhm.
do it one time and it would improve for all those blog pages. So this
Yeah.
is something I have got to know from Google search console. And I don't think the mobile friendliness tab is very much relevant these days, because most of the websites are mobile friendly. But if it is not, then you may want to keep this and like add a yes or no to it if it is not very much mobile friendly, or there are like certain images or something that are not appearing correctly, you know, then you may want to add this here.
So
And
regarding the page speed, we need to find pattern for type of pages and determine
mm-hmm,
what are the pattern mistake on those pages. For example, it can be image sizing, lazy load, too small fonts, some kind of typical mistakes, which
mm-hmm,
every of one has, especially on WordPress sites. Right.
mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, this is true. Like I there are a lot of things where in on my WordPress website, it was like there were a there was a GIF, and because of that 7 second thing, the page speed was like a lot. It was taking like 11 seconds to load that page, and I'm like, damn, this is out of control, you know. So I basically converted that into video. So instead of the GIF, I made that into video, and that's when uh, I saw some improvement in the page speed. Also, one of the things that I did last year, yeah, I think I did that last year, was to implement uh, Cloudflare on my website. So I got help from my friend, uh, who is like the best, you know, and he, he basically added Cloudflare to my website, and this that really helped in page speed. So yeah, I think things like these will like really improve the page speed. uh, so yeah. And lastly, for the notes, I like to really use them when I there are a bunch of things that I cannot add in all of these other places. So this is where I use the notes. And in the notes, I also add things like what are the things, uh, what are the resources you can use to check, basically if I have made if I am telling them that yeah, you should do add self-referencing canonical tags, then I might add a link to the documentation saying that why it is important.
Mm-hmm.
And so something like that, something that you find interesting and that you cannot add anywhere is something that will go in notes. So yeah, this is that. And now in the like the next section is about analyzing the site from a manual perspective and from the user's point of view using the Google search quality rater guidelines. This is something I learned a lot from when I was giving the test for the quality rater. The test was very long and it taught me a lot of things. And the way it is done is like very different from what we do basically, and the idea behind this is that you can evaluate the page from all the numbers. You have certain amount of backlinks, you have certain amount of views, uh, engagement, and like everything. But how would you know that this page is actually helping your users, and how would you know that this page is achieving its purpose and that it is helping the users satisfy their intent? And if this content is written with enough originality, if it is unique or not, how would you answer all of those questions? These questions are very subjective. And if you and me were to do uh, audit for a single page, the answer you and I will give will be different. And it is
Mm-hmm.
very subjective. So I think even though it is subjective, you should do that, because it will add another layer of dimension to your audit, and it will actually help you understand whether or not this page is actually helping your users or not. So there are a bunch of other tools that I have found where you can use this. So one of this is this quality rater scorecard from Cyrus. I have found this very helpful, and this is something uh, I have encountered when I was actually like giving the quality rater test. And it is very helpful. Basically, you can do this for each and every page, and you can go into detail and understand that if this page is quality very have high quality content or not. And also you can use this like GPT from Aleda, which
Mm-hmm.
will it had, I think there is some free access to GPTs
Yeah.
in Chat GPT now. So yeah, I have used this and it is very helpful. You can
Yeah, I
do
also
the
use. I also
yeah,
used it. Quite nice way to brainstorm about the quality of your page. Yeah.
exactly. So this either this or the scorecard, or you can like, I would also encourage you like you to do this like manually, and like yeah, just write things here from your perspective. So the thing is that for the page purpose, you have to go through the page, like actually go and like go to this page and understand that what is the purpose behind this page, why was this page created in the first place, and does it help to provide something helpful to the user, or this page has a harmful purpose, that it is not very helping anybody, and it is harmful, like to spread misinformation or something like that. Like that is very extreme version of like the quality. But it is good to understand that what is the purpose behind this page. And the next is the user intent. I have just added yes to it, but you can like do it very detailed, and understand that what is the intent behind the search query that people are doing. Like for
Mm-hmm.
example, if somebody is searching for like yeah, if this is what is SEO, if somebody is searching for what is SEO and they come to your page, what is the likelihood that you have satisfied their query, and that they don't have any questions anymore, and then they're like yeah, I'm very happy to come across this content and this has solved all my problems. does your content provide that sort of feeling, so this is where you will, like, you would write that does your content satisfy the user intent or not. And if the problem is that if your content is not satisfying, or it is not helping the users, then they would go somewhere else, and you would lose a user basically. And the other thing is that apart from this thing, if they have come to your website and they have seen that even after checking your multiple blog posts or your articles or pages, you are not providing helpful content and you are not helping them in any way, they would be like, okay, Packed, it is such a shitty website, I will never come back to it again. And they will just make a, like, sort of a persona in their head about what this website is, and they would never come back. Even if you are ranking number 1, they would not come to it, just because they have seen in the past that you are not helping them. So this is something that you also, like, take in, like, mind about that. And the last one is the content quality. This is something that obviously is, it's from the search quality rater guidelines, and it tells you to evaluate your content from the quality perspective. Does this content was produced with high originality? Is this content unique? Is this content made with enough talent, effort, or skill? If there is like, I did one of the studies on my website that was related to uh, how much SEO agencies are charging in India. That was a huge study, it took me like 2 months or something, and I had to make like a lot of charts or something to demonstrate my point. That sort of content is very in depth, it is unique, it has required a lot of effort and talent to make that sort of content. Whereas you just put some topic in your chat GPT or something and spit out an article and just
Mhm.
write that, there
Yeah.
is a huge difference between the effort that you are putting into those two types of content. So yeah, and based on these things that you have done, like, you have written all of those things, and as you noticed, it is very long process just for a single page. There are tons of things that you have to look for just for a single page to understand what you want to do with it. And now finally we are at action. Okay. So
Now we
now,
can set up priority, right?
yeah, now we will
Finally.
talk about action and priority. So the thing is that the action that you will take will depend on the audit that you have done, all of the things that you have written. There are a lot of times when you may want to just redirect a page to, like, one to another, just because this page is not helping the users and the other page is helping the users more, and it has better stats, numbers and everything. And there are, I have added a bunch of action list here. uh, for example, you may want to rewrite the content, or you can, like, just add this or more, more items here based on your website and everything. You may want to add sections, images, videos, or you may want to improve the internal linking of the page, or you want to like delete some of the content from the page because it is too long and nobody is going to read it. Or you may want to like delete the page, like, yeah, there is no use, and then I'll just delete it, and or you may want to optimize the own page for, like, for example, your meta title description, or like your schema markups and stuff like that. Or you may want to, like, expand the content. So these are the action list that will you will decide for each of the page that you will audit. And then comes the priority. So the priority is that it will depend on the, I would say it will depend on things like how much impact this thing will have on your website. and how important this thing is to your business, overall business, not just to your website. So if I I'm not sure, like if adding more content to a page has high impact, it is very important page for the business, and it has the maximum impact on the business, then you would just assign a high priority to it, and if if it is important but it is not that necessary, you know then you just may want to add like low priority or something.
Mhm.
So it will depend on a bunch of things. All of the people that I have talked with regarding priority has their own set of, I guess, opinions on it, that how you want to approach priority. But based on what I have done in the past, I think the two main things are impact and the whole business value, that how important this page is. And I think also you should be giving a little special attention to the pages that are very important. For example, certain service pages are very important. Let's say you provide 10 services, but two service pages are something that is very important to you. It brings most of your clients, and these pages have a lot of traffic. And yeah, basically these pages are very important. Or your homepage is the most important page. And like any other product or service, or maybe any other blog page, you may want to give them a little special attention and see uh, if you improve this page, what will be the impact, and then you can just assign a priority to it. Because like if you think about it, if you assign high priority to everything, then nothing is priority,
Yeah,
you know
I think we can also use Search Console metrics to prioritize main focus on pages which are already ranking, for example, from fourth to 15th positions, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Just improving a little bit, we can get higher rankings already.
Mm-hmm.
It's much more better than work with pages which are ranking on the fifth page. It doesn't make any sense. Let's focus on priority pages which already brings you some kind of traffic. It will be
Mm-hmm.
better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there are a lot of times where I have not decided to do anything with the page, and I have kept it a low priority just because I know that this page is not very important to the business, and there is not a lot of impact that can have, just by improving this page. And it would take a lot of resources. So resources is something that you also may want to think about. Then it
Yeah.
would like take a lot of resources from your content team, your developer team, or so. Yeah, it is something that you will have to keep on your mind. So I think based on all of these things, you will get a lot of idea about what to do with the pages. And yeah, basically you may want to add videos, infographics, images, anything that uh, basically makes your users experience better. And I also this kind of in-depth audit for me, I think, also gives me an idea of how I want to do things moving forward. you know uh, I c- like based on like business potential, I could see that okay, there are a lot of pages that don't have a lot of that are scoring 0 or 1 on the business potential. So I want to make content that is directly related to my service, and I can showcase the user how I can help them with it. Or I may want to make more bottom of the funnel content because we don't have a lot of that. Or we may want to improve or add something to our pages, or make certain type of blog pages in uh, moving forward. And also, I this is not really related to this audit, but I think there you can also repurpose the content topic and the content itself a lot of times to your other channels. Basically, the the thing is that, for example, you're writing about, you know let's say this e-commerce uh, content audit. You can write a text post about it with images and everything. You can also make a video on it. You can maybe, like we are doing, like right now, we can have a live uh, talk about it. Not like, yeah, we can have a talk about it, or we can do like something else, so we can repurpose the same ideas from everywhere. So I think audit like this will give you ideas on what you should do with your content,
Yeah,
basically.
especially it's a good tactic for your link building campaign. For example, if we are writing
Oh.
an article for our e-commerce site about chocolates, and we are writing an article about how to choose best dark chocolate
Mm-hmm.
for diabetes, for example, we can
Mm-hmm.
use this specific topic and some kind of our paragraph where we have very strong expertise and focus on it on our link building
Mm-hmm.
campaign, just distribute it, and get some quality links, and it will be the perfect match between the page intent and our guest post or other kind of links which we want to get. So yeah, it will be the perfect match, and of course we can use specific anchors in those articles while we are distributing it. Thank you. Okay, so I will definitely work a little bit with your template. How to deal with pages that should be deleted, but these pages has external links. What strategies can you recommend how to deal with these pages?
Okay, so I think it depends on how good the backlinks are on those pages, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
if the quality of those backlinks are not the best, then you can, like, uh, if it is not the best, basically, then you might want to just delete the page, you know but
Mm-hmm.
if the quality of those backlinks are very uh, authoritative and high quality, then you can just delete the page and then redirect that page to any other relevant page on your website. So uh, this is something that you can do also. In that process, don't forget to uh, like change all the internal links to point to the correct page, because that page is now deleted and then
What
redirected.
what to do if I don't have a relevant page? I have, for example, blog article on some kind of topic which is not relevant for me, but can I redirect, for example, for homepage or for service page in case if I don't have really relevant another blog article?
I Okay, so I think in that case, it's like redirecting to homepage would not be the best option, because if you think about it, like, let's say if I am a user and if I go to a website, e-commerce website that sells chocolates, because I love chocolates, so if I go to a website and if I click to a page, product page, and it redirects to home page, it doesn't make sense. I would be angry and frustrated. I'm like, what is the point of all of this? So this is I think the thing that you may want to think about. In that case, if you have to, like, delete a page, it doesn't have good backlinks, and just delete it, at that point, and delete it and add a 410 status code to it. That
Mm-hmm.
would be the best. And if you really want to keep the page and redirect it, then you can just redirect that to a category page instead of home page. So if
Yeah, good point.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And for next, for the follow question. It's also good. How to define if I should redirect pages to homepage and categories? So basically, you just answered on it, so we can go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think,
So
yeah.
let's underline redirect to homepage. It's not the best option. Try to choose the most relevant pages which you have To do this, you can just simply check your Google Search Console via queries, type the query, and find what are relevant pages which are ranking on this specific keyword. If, for example, you can have on your e-commerce product page, category page, and some kind of blog articles, or even some kind of blog categories. It's also a good point. For example,
Mm-hmm.
about chocolate, about coffee beans. So you can choose the best folder for this. And
Mm-hmm.
uh, the next question is, what to do if my e-commerce page is good but my product is out of stock? I think it's a good question because it's the most typical mistakes, one of the most typical mistakes in e-commerce which I can see for now, that sometimes business owners do not have product in stock and they just delete this page. Why? And then, for example, they have it in stock and then ask to create this page again. I think it's doesn't have any logic. So what recommendations can you give us on this?
So in that, this sort of thing where the product is out of stock but the page is good,
Mm-hmm.
this sort of thing is called a soft 404 error. And this is something, it is the same thing as you're saying. Like the page is working, it is loading properly, but the product is not there. So basically the page has no use, so it will be treated like a 404 page. So in that case there are two things. Okay, if the product is permanently out of stock, you know that this page is not, like this product is not coming back anytime soon, you know, we have permanently stopped making this product, then you can either redirect that page to another relevant page, product page, you know, and any other another relevant product page. Or if you don't have any other relevant product page or category page, you can just uh, delete it and add the 410 status code to it. You, for the redirection, you only want to redirect when you know that that page has a lot of authority from backlinks and you want to preserve those equity. So then you can just redirect that page to another relevant page or category page. But if you know that this product is not coming back, it doesn't have any authority, and it's not like not very helpful, just delete it and add the 410 status code. And the second thing is that this product is temporarily out of stock, you know, that this product will come later but not today, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So in that case you can leave that as it is. uh, let that product be indexed, because there is this product is coming soon, you know. And if you can add the date or something to the page when it will come back, so it will like if any user land on this page, then the user know that okay, this is when this product will come back and this is when I can expect, you know. Or you can also uh, I have seen this in a lot of websites where they have a email address field, and then I can add the email address, and they then there's a notify me button that you can just I can get notified when this product will be back on stock. So just keep that page, don't redirect or delete this page if this is temporarily out of stock.
Yeah, I can also add that if your product is out of stock for not a long time, you can also provide a blog with internal links to some kind of similar products or other
Mm-hmm.
modifications of this product. But check check your schema also,
Mm-hmm.
because you need to provide a task to developer that in case if our product is out of stock or in stock, this schema should be changed automatically,
Yeah, yeah.
especially for e-commerce project. When you have dozens of page, you don't, as a SEO, you don't have an ability to check it every time or every week. So please ask your developers while you're doing some kind of schema, meta titles, meta tags, keep focus on that things should be done automatically depending on the backend and catalog statuses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thank you. The next question. Do I
Mm-hmm.
need to keep my images for e-commerce unique? It's common question. it's 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 a long story. I would like to say it depends.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about
The
it?
No, I would not say it depends. I would just say that keep the images unique, because I have seen a lot of times where if you search for a product, then the images from the manufacturer's website and like all the other, you know, website that are selling this product have essentially the same images, and I don't think it's a good user experience at that point. Like, for example, if I go to Amazon or something, and if I search for some product and I know that this product image looks very, like, not
Generic.
very, yeah, generic, and it's not very helpful. I'm like, I'm telling this for myself, like not for anybody else, but I would not even trust that product if it is, a legit product or not. I would think that this might be some sort of a scam or something.
Yeah, yeah, agree.
It happens, it happens a lot of times. So I'm just saying, from a personal user experience, I have also seen websites uh, where there are like unique images. They have personally clicked the images on their, if it is a cloth or like a, yeah, accessory or something, then they have actual models for it, and they like make them wear the clothes or something, and they also add the close up images so that you understand, okay, what kind of fabric this is, and how does it look in person. There are a lot of times when I have shopped online, and in the image the product looks like this big, and when I receive it, it's like this big. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah. And I can add you a few good tips and bad tips. So the first good tip, a lot of websites are already using metadata for images, including also IPTC metadata.
mm-hmm.
In simple words, IPTC metadata, it's when you are Googling something in image Google search, you can see a disclaimer in the
Mm-hmm.
bottom of the image that this image is owned by. So it's
Yeah.
quite important. If you have some kind of dropshipping store and you want just stole the images and grab some kind of images from another competitor, be careful with IPTC metadata because you can be penalized, for example, by DMCA or some kind of another penalizations. So the first point. The second point, it's a bad tip. I had an experience a lot of years ago with stealing Amazon product images, and then we just asked our designer change the color of flowers on the background, check
Oh.
the change, for example, the color of the grass, add some kind of another weather. For example, on
Mm-hmm.
Amazon store, it was a picture of a dog, boat, and some kind of nature. So we just changed summer photo to autumn photo. Just fixing background. We change the color of the dog. We mirror the image and change the sizes of the boat in comparing with the dog. It's a bad tip, but it works. It works. So
Damn.
I understand that some kind of drop shippers who just want to test a niche uh, try to keep unique pages in case in other cases you can use stock images with free license or buy images or even pay additional money. For example, you can hire a person on Upwork, send your products and just ask to make a few photos. It's not so it doesn't cost a lot of money, but try to keep it. And if you want to increase the quality of your image traffic, use IPTC and metadata for your images, also provide schema for your images. It's a typical mistake also when you have on a product a carousel or of settings of photo. For example, you have 10 photos, but the typical mistake that you provide structured data only for first image. It's also a mistake. And the pro tip is also to mark up the every single image and its dimensions. I understand that probably you will have quite a long of schema code, but it's good because you want to get cheap traffic from image search. And according to last updates, I know that on Android phones then there is a new feature when you just can take a photo and circle some kind of object and ask Google what is it.
Mm-hmm.
So in case of this, your structured data will also help um, search bots and Google in general to understand better the context of the object which you have
Mm-hmm.
on the page. So, um, bad tips, good tips. Okay.
Damn. I have learned a lot of new things today. So yeah.
Yeah, you can
The,
use it. What are the most typical issues, why
mm-hmm.
they are important, and how to deal with them? I think it's a kind of long questions for discuss, but maybe you can highlight the most frequent issues which you face in your experience.
Okay, so the most common issues that I have found are one of the issues is the canonical tag issue. Is that I have seen in like websites where there is a like the internal links to the okay wait how do I put this, the internal links are pointing to the non slash page, like the slash at the end is not present, but the canonical tag is the slash version.
Yeah,
this is
classic.
this is very like yeah very classic, like as you said, it is something that is very common, like I have seen it in a lot of websites.
Yeah, it's
And
because of developers. Sometimes they just forget in their scripts and just forget about slashes in the end. Yeah.
yeah, this is a common issue, and I think the best way to just fix it is just to uh, change the internal links and like yeah just change the internal links to the correct version, and that like do and another thing is uh, the internal redirects. It happens a bunch of times because of this canonicalization issue that is going from slash to non slash. It also creates a redirect, which is not the best thing. And uh, and I have seen it a lot of times happening on the websites. Sometimes it's like going from http to https, or like slash to non slash or something like that. Or another times it's like the the URLs have like capital letters in them, and like there's some random thing going on there, and like it creates internal redirects. Another thing is is the cannibalization issue that is very common, I think, among the websites. It's like the cannibalization happens mostly like in uh, product pages and also with the category pages. So yeah, so I think you should probably just redirect those sort of pages to the correct ones, and based on the authority and everything. And the last one is which is I think very very common, is the pagination thing, where in the category pages the every page is canonicalized to the first page of the series.
Yeah.
It happens a lot.
Why? Why? Yeah, I agree.
Exactly, and it's not just on e-commerce websites, it's everywhere. I have seen it everywhere, even in normal service based websites or b2c, or sorry, b2b or something like that. I have seen it a lot of times. uh, And I'm not sure why and who started this rumor that canonicals should be pointing to the first page of the series. So th- the fixing part is just that: add self-referencing canonical tags to each category pages, and don't canonicalize them all to the home page. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I can also add about cannibalization, that in e-commerce projects sometimes it's a big mistake that people make blog pages which are on the same cluster as category pages. And of
Hmm.
course, because in the blog we have much more content, blog pages start ranking much more better. So it's a huge mistake. Please don't do it. And what else? I wanted also to add something to a comment about the issues. Yeah, about canonical and redirect. So in case if you have international websites with different languages, for example English and German, in German there are some kind of letters with additional accents, like a with two dots on the end,
Yeah.
or o with two dots. Yeah, and it's a huge mistake that you as a SEO, you know about it, but your content managers or editors, they don't know it. And people who upload in some kind of content on the website should keep in mind and keep it as the rule that you don't need to use these letters. Just don't use it, and keep the rule that you just, it's kind of a small checklist for every team where I work. It was one of the first steps. I created tons of checklists for content editors, like the process of creating alts, the process of creating URLs. So if you're working in house, just please make some kind of archive with useful tips for your team, because you're not it's not possible to manage every time your team and correct those mistakes. But it's good practice just to to share with team your expertise, which can be helpful, and just decrease the number of human factors issues in the future, because in most of cases e-commerce, it's kind of pattern work. You have pattern work with developers, with content team, because you have pretty the same templates for every kind of page. So your task as a SEO manager just to keep the structure, rules, and that's all. It's quite good. That's why I like e-commerce. It's quite simple. Okay, thank you a lot. I think it will be useful for you guys. So please write your comments, subscribe to our channels, subscribe to Preeti, subscribe to her channels. I will mention in the comments below. Thank you, and see you soon in the next episode. Bye.